Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday Catchup podcast. How are you and how has your week been? I really hope it's been a good one. This week is interesting because I was talking to realign earlier and I was saying I haven't really got too much to talk about in this week's podcast because it's been a good week, but there's nothing like really kind of much to say. I've had quite a lot of time off from the shop, so I've been working from home a lot and just catching up with myself and home admin and different things like that. But it has been quite eventful in another sort of way. So when you have those kind of weeks, and what's been a bit funny this week, it's been a little bit jarring, especially at the beginning of the week, because it's been very flowing over the past few weeks, and then this week has just been a little bit like jarring and it just hasn't flowed very well. But there's been some lessons which I will go through with you because of this week. And it started off on Monday. We were at a funeral. Our friend's dad had died just after Christmas, Boxing Day, and it was his funeral on Monday. It's a long time, isn't it? And it was a really lovely send-off because he was part of the Morris Men, and the Morris Men that he used to dance with danced in front of the hearse when it arrived at the crematorium, and it was really lovely to watch. And it was packed, absolutely packed, and his family and our friends gave him such a beautiful send-off. They really did. It was so nice. It's always very reflective, isn't it, when you go to a funeral, and so much stuff comes up to think about: your own mortality, the people that have passed before you, the person whose funeral you're at, seeing the family emotional. So it's a very reflective day, and just huge gratitude for the send-off that they gave him and the beautiful reception they did, the wake for him, and that was really lovely. And it was just, they'd gone to so much care and attention, and they just did it was just a really nice service for him, and everybody looked like that they were celebrating his life, and that was really nice to see. So that sort of kick-started our week. And on Tuesday, I was working. Will was working at home. He's doing really well on our little ensuite. It's really coming together, and so much so that actually on Wednesday we went and bought some floor tiles for it. So that was super exciting. And I've just noticed the time. It's 18:18, which is a time that I always photograph and send to Harriet, because 18 and 8 is our magical numbers. So I just noticed that it was 18:18 and then. Oh, anyway, I digress. So, so realign on Tuesday was doing our little ensuite. So that's coming on really well. And then on Tuesday, had a few meetings and stuff. But what happened was, which was one of the sticky things that happened this week, was people have really been enjoying my 21 days of spiritual awareness that I put together. It's an online course. And just by a customer just out the blue said to me that one of the days the video had duplicated. And I was like, oh no. And then when I looked deeper, for some reason, some of the videos were all out of sync on the days. And I actually did not know how I was going to fix it, on what the first thing was that I needed to do, because they were all on YouTube, they all had covers, and they were all allocated to a day. So it needed a bit of project management, and I did so well and I got so far, and then I needed a bit of help. But it was just a little bit jarring and a little bit sticky and not what I had on my to-do list. But, you learn from it. I learned from it, and just know I need to dot the I's and cross the T's and check. But I literally thought it had been checked. And so a big lesson is to learn, is to check. Yes, indeed. So so that was Tuesday. So that spent half a day sorting that out, and then got home and, as I say, pancakes, and it was so nice. It was really nice. And what's your favourite topping? Mine's the lemon and sugar, and that's Will's too. And we enjoyed those. And of course, we're fasting the next day till Easter. Of course, we're not. Too much sugar has been consumed this week, and it really is not any good. And I keep reading that sugar turns to insulin, and then if it's not used, it just turns to fat. So I know I need to stop eating the sugar because I have a dress to get into, and I need to cut that sugar out. I've done it before, so I can do it again. I just need to set myself up with some nuts. So instead of sugar, I go to my walnuts or my almonds. But better said than done, especially when you have been eating a lot of sugar and your blood sugar levels are going up and down all the time. And I love a hot cross bun, and of course it's hot cross bun time. And breathe. So Wednesday, Will, I Can and I went and got our tyres done on our Fiat because we need to be safe, and they were wearing out, and we need to be legal as well. We had about 5% left of tyre wear, so we went and did that. And then, of course, we walked to a baker's that has just changed hands, and we went there and we had breakfast, which was really nice. And it wasn't too wet, and it was just really nice. And then just did loads of admin in the afternoon. It's been a kind of an admin week, really. Then Thursday I was back at work, had meetings in the morning, just cracking on with loads of Quest stuff, which was really enjoyable, and then had clients in the afternoon, which was wonderful, doing Reiki, palms, and just really lucky to be seeing so many lovely people and how they are on their journey and where they are, and it was just a real joy. So that was nice. And then we went round to see Amelia and Arlo in the evening, so that was really nice too. And we really enjoyed it, and I'm helping Amelia do some clutter clearing, which isn't all hers, and she's just sorting through stuff, and her home is just looking absolutely beautiful, and she's really putting her own stamp on it, and it's starting to look great, filled with baby stuff. And of course I got to bath little Arlo, and it was really nice, really great. And then we've been lucky enough to have 3 days off. So I had Friday off, Saturday off, and Sunday off from Quest. I wrote myself a big to-do list of what I wanted to achieve, not only business-wise, but personal-wise now as well. And Sunday evening, and I managed to achieve 90% of it, and 10% of it I've just carried forward. But we've just been, over the 3 days, we've been catching up with home admin, home jobs. I've been clearing out my wardrobes, and I've been going through all the admin, home admin that gets caught up, and just sorting and tidying up stuff. So I've really enjoyed it. To be honest, I haven't got that much clutter, but it was just untidy and needed tidying. So really enjoyed that. It was lovely. And we went on some walks, which was nice. And then went to Buckland Park Lake and had breakfast and had a big walk around the lake. So that was nice too. And even though it's rained lots, when we've gone out for our walks, it hasn't rained. So we've been really, really lucky. And then we went to our friends when did we go to our friends? We went to our friends on Friday night, and they cooked us a lovely meal, and we caught up with them and we played cards. Oh, I've got a question for you. What would you have done? Dun, dun, dun. So I'll set the scenario. So we're playing cards, and the guy that we play with, so there's 4 of us, and he always does the scoring, always does the scoring. And he actually always wins. But not because of any other funny business, but just because, I don't know, he's just very lucky. And I'm pretty lucky as well. Angela is, and then Will wins once or twice. So And it's really, and I do find it secretly quite competitive because I do like to win, but I'm learning to relax. But we were doing a trophy, but I found that was a bit of a trigger for me, and I didn't like not winning the trophy. You can probably analyse that however you want, but when there was a trophy at stake, I just became not very nice and too competitive, in my personal opinion, because I wanted the trophy. Interesting, huh? I'm not going to spend any time analysing it. That's just how it was. So when the trophy got removed, I relaxed more, and I just was like, I was aware, I observed myself of what that was doing, and I didn't like that about myself. So anyway, the trophy got removed, and there we go. Anyway, I digress. I completely digress on what I wanted to say. So anyway, we're playing the cards, and we play a lot, and we really enjoy it, and it's really good fun. And my stepmom, mum taught us this game when we were children, so it's like a family game, and then we've taught our friends. So this is the game, and now they play it with their children, and they go on holiday and they play it, and da 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 da. So this game is called Beanie. So in this particular game, on this particular evening, you score. So you start at ace and you go to king. And you go all the way. So each round you have a beanie card, which is a wild card, and you get certain points and everything else. I won't bore you with the rules. It doesn't matter. So we started at ace, 2, 3, 4. I think we got to 4. And my score was 40. But Steve, the scorer, heard 14. What would you have done? Would you have said anything or not? So I decided not to say anything. And I didn't. So we get to jacks, I think 10s or jacks, and we're nearing the end, and I'm leading, Steve is leading, and I'm behind him, and there's not much in it, only a few points. Well, to cut a bit of a long story short, we get to kings, and I win. I win the card game. And what would you have done? Would you have come clean or would you have not? And I'd already decided at Jack's that if I was to win, I would come clean, because otherwise it's not fair and I don't want to cheat. So, but I don't know, what was interesting was, and again, I'm not going to analyse this, but I didn't want to say it when he told me, because I thought, well, he heard wrong. It was his mistake. I don't need to correct him. But I thought that if I was to win, I would confess. So basically, I won the game of cards, except then I came clean and said, no, you actually won, Steve. And he won. But because he is a bit of a perfectionist on the old scoring, I don't think he was too happy with me, because he had to adjust the whole score. And I actually lost by 8 points. So there's the throw of the die. Had I said something when it had happened, maybe it would have changed the outcome and I could have won. Or did I do the right thing? It's interesting, isn't it? So what would you have done? That's my question. That's what I want to know. What would you have done? Come clean at the beginning, come clean at the end, or would you have kept stum and not said a word? Dun, dun, dun. That's the dilemma for the week. It was very exciting. So that was Friday night. Saturday, we were off again, walks, admin, and then Amelia messaged to say, no, she didn't. She was going. So when we were there on the Thursday, she'd bought little Arlo some ear defenders because they were going to the pub to see the rugby on Saturday. Normally, I work on a Saturday and didn't think anything of it. Saturday morning, woke up, got my things planned, what I wanted to do and everything. And then I said to Will I Can, how do you fancy if I ask Millsy and see if she would like us to, we look after Arlo for the afternoon. First time properly. I know I did it for a couple of hours at theirs, but like bring him over, bring some milk, all the rest of it. And she said yes. So we got to spend the afternoon with Arlo Bear. Yes, we did. From 12 till 8. 12 p.m, 12:30 they dropped him off, and then we had him all the way through, and I think they got back at 8. Do you remember that feeling of when you don't have the children and you can go off so excited and you're free, and it's the first time properly they've had any time off together, and they had a great time. We did terribly though at the rugby, didn't we? But they really, really enjoyed it, and we had the best time with Arlo. It was amazing. It was so good. I tell you what, Will I Can is an absolute natural with children. He really is, and Arlo just loves him. So whatever he says and whatever he would have you believe, don't believe it. He is so good with babies and children. He really is, and he's so good with animals, and he's so good chatting to people. I said that to him on a walk today, because we went on another walk today. I said, you know what, you're really good with Arlo. I said, you're really good with chatting to people. I said, I'm absolutely rubbish. I think because I talk to people all the time at work, when it comes to my own time, I'm not very good at chit-chatting. But Will, like, everyone loves Will because he stays and he chats, and he just chats about everything and anything. And yeah, absolutely. I really admire that in him. And I just think it's such a good quality to have. And Arlo was just loving. For a minute, he was sat on Grandpops's lap, watching the rugby with Will. It wasn't for long because obviously we were doing loads with him, but it was just really funny. So we took a photograph for Amelia to see him with Grandpops watching the rugby. But yeah, it was really nice. I loved it. We went for a couple of walks, we had laughter, we played, we read, we sang songs. We fed him. He just fell asleep for an hour and a half on me, and absolutely incredible, really incredible. He's such a poppet, he really is. So I'm sorry about that. Just allow me 5 minutes of grandparent talk, because yeah, it's so cute, it really is. So that was really nice on Saturday, really enjoyed that. And then we just chilled out after they went, and they came and chilled with us after they got home. And then when they went, obviously that was the end of the day. And then today, hasn't the weather been so incredible? It's been so nice. So again, just catching up, doing the stuff that I wanted to do to get ahead, which I am, and just feel really grateful for having 3 days off. We were going to go away, but I said to Will, let's just stay at home, and he agreed, and so we did. And yeah, it was really nice indeed. And then we went for a lovely walk, and ended up going to Headley Tea Rooms. We had a cup of tea, and I had a scone and a half. I did. Will said, do you want to share a scone? You can't share a scone. I'm like, no. And he goes, well, I want to share one. I said, you have one and I'll share yours. So I had mine, and then I shared Will's. Oh, it was really nice. Well, we got in there, and I just told him how much he's good at chatting to people. And then he got chatting. It seemed like forever, talking to the owner of the Headley Tea Rooms and another lady in there, whatever. And then he told the story, and I went, yeah, I can hear you, Will. It's like, it was really funny. And it's like, that's my point. It was so funny. Oh dear. So that was Sunday, and now Will's cooking dinner, and I am doing this Sunday Catchup podcast. So that's like the week, okay? So yeah, that was my week. But what were the learnings in it? So for me, it always comes back to being present, and that's because of the there's been a few things jarring, and I didn't write them down. The biggest thing was my course just completely wrong, but I didn't stress. Too much. No, I didn't. I just was like, okay, so this is what life wants me to do now. I'll do it. and threw myself into it. There was stuff I couldn't do. I'm trying to learn like meta business at the minute, and I tried to do that in the week and just wasn't getting anywhere. And instead of pushing the stickiness, I'm just kind of pulling back and just going, maybe now's not the right time. I'll create some more time for that later. So the lesson I think for me this week is again about coming back to presence, is the importance of, I felt like going for a run this week. I didn't go for a run, but I'm just loving these lighter evenings, and it's been a bit milder and it's just been a bit nicer. I think the other lesson as well is just to not take things too seriously, just lighten up a little bit, but just to just keep going with that flow. And it's not always going to flow, and there is going to be jarring, but I'm not going to push the stone up the hill. I'm going to roll it back, and then I'm going to then do something else and then come back to it when it feels a little bit like things will move. So that's been my lessons this week. And also just coming back to what's it all about? You know, that funeral was another kind of reminder. What's it all about? Why do we take stuff so seriously? Why do we get caught up in the unconscious? Why do we get caught up in fear? Why do we just not laugh? Why do we just take life so seriously? And so it's just like, for me, it was just another reminder to lighten up and just to keep doing what I love to do, and also know that I can learn new skills. And the other biggest lesson is for me is to do things properly, to dot the I's and cross the T's and have some fun whilst doing it. So that's it. That's the week. So I hope your week has been good, and I hope this week's good for you, and just sending you lots and lots of love, and may you achieve what you want to achieve. May you be present. May you learn something new. May some magical sparkles come your way, and you have a really lucky week. Sending you lots of blessings, and I am going to finish with that meditation. Just a quick meditation today. No words really are necessary, are they? It's just that pause and breath. Just coming into the stillness that's always here, and our bodies know how to do stillness. It's just our minds that stop us from recognising when we have those moments of stillness. So just pausing now, just stopping now, just breathing in. Knowing we're far greater than our bodies, our minds, and sinking into that truth, sinking in to the stillness, to the peace. It's all here, all that wisdom. Everything you've ever been and everything you ever will be is right here, right now, here in this moment. Remember, you are amazing, incredible, powerful, amazing. Big smiley face, putting that smile on your face, feeling that love. Have a beautiful week. Take care. Bye. That's my week wrapped up. What stood out, what shifted, and what I'm taking forward. Now it's over to you. What moments shaped your week? What inspired you? Let's keep the conversation going. come and connect with me on @thesoulcoach or YouTube and let me know your thoughts. If this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it, tag me, or send it to someone who might enjoy it too. See you next week for another reflection, but until then, take care, stay present, and keep journeying within.